Hi, everyone. Phew, I am really excited to talk about this book, The AI Edge. Sales strategies for unleashing the power of AI to save time, sell more, and crush the competition. Now, that's a mouthful, but I can assure you. A lot of words, but what they packed into this book, I really have to give credit to Jeb Blount and Anthony Iannarino. Fundamentally, they've written a book which I think is extremely timely. They've written this as we see what AI is doing in the fast-changing world of sales. AI has emerged as a game changer. And I honestly believe, and I think they say that as well in no uncertain terms in the book as well. AI is not going to replace salespeople. It's not being designed to replace salespeople. I do believe it's here to enhance their capabilities, i.e. make salespeople better at what they do. In this book, Jeb and Anthony actually talk about how AI can save time, amplify productivity, and help salespeople close more deals. That's music to my ears. Close more deals, right? Interestingly, this is not a book about technology. It's actually a guide on how to master the balance between human connection and cutting edge tools. And to me, that's what I really liked about the book. It acknowledges the reality, but it also helps us calm down the notion that someone's going to take my job and that someone is a computer or a algorithm. We're going to talk about 12 powerful lessons that I got from this transformative book to make sure that we at least get some things out of this. It's a big book. It's got a lot of information in here. I must be honest, I learned so much from this book. The author's actually done a fantastic job in terms of showing how to build a prompt. Some of you might wonder, why are you teaching me how to build prompts? You got to understand, at the time that this book came out, prompt engineering was something that was very new, something that was changing. And honestly, what you think of prompting today might change again in 6 months' time. Which brings me to a fundamental ask of both Jeb and Anthony. Jen, this book is so time bound, but with all the changes going on, you really need to figure out how you're going to bring this book out every 6 months to keep us updated on everything that's going to happen from an AI point and how it impacts sales. I really honestly think that this is not a hard copy, but maybe future editions should just be an electronic copy, and I pay a subscription per month. Just keep updating this so that I'm always ahead of the curve when it comes to AI. And guys, I don't want to sound like I'm afflicted with paranoia. Or paranoia, I don't know how to pronounce that word, but I must be honest. Paranoia is something that I think we all should be thinking about, and only the paranoid will survive is another key phrase I would put forward. This book actually teaches us a lot, shows us a lot. Let me start with learning number one, the beginning of everything. AI is not just another tool. It's a revolutionary shift. Think of the internet or electricity. It changed the way businesses operate, and AI is going to change the way businesses operate, especially in sales. Sales is supposed to be about conversation. It's supposed to be about dialogues. It's supposed to be belly to belly, right? Now, how is AI coming in here? It makes you a bit nervous, right? Because you thought this would be an exclusive ring-fenced environment. Surely AI can't come in there. AI is here, and AI has come in early and is going to give us a competitive advantage. One of the things that both Anthony and Jeb focus on is the fear of being left behind as competitors adopt AI is something you need to have in your mind. But they also position this as follows. Don't let that fear hold you back. Early adopters of CRM are already outperforming their peers because they have automated the lead prioritization and the follow-up. Many companies are implementing AI tools that analyze buyer intent. That's actually led to higher increase rates. Now, one of the first actionable tips that I got from them from the book, and I think it's common sense. Start the first step by experimenting with AI tools. Don't wait for the perfect solution. Just start with simple applications. Those could be chatbots, those could be scheduling software that just shows immediate productivity gains. Don't wait for the big thing to happen. These small things are going to quickly accumulate to make something big happen. Number two, lesson or learning number two, AI is everywhere all of the time. Oh, buddy, it's switched off and it remains switched on. It's pervasive. It's going to get integrated into every aspect of sales. You're going to automate routine tasks, which is already happening. You're going to personalize how you do cloud outreach. Again, it's already happening. The way in which some of the tools are actually looking at LinkedIn, looking at posts, and actually helping customize emails and your outreach is mind-boggling. It's becoming a necessary part of a salesperson's toolkit. The pain point is that you're going to struggle to keep up with the rapid pace of technological change. I get that. But we're not asking you to become technological gurus. We're actually asking you to make sure that you are focused in using AI in patterns, mechanisms that reflect how your customers buy. Let's give you an example. Jeb and Anthony actually do a fantastic job of talking about how follow-ups are going to change. They talk about the use of AI in looking at buying signals and how a lot of manual processes typically miss those type of activities. AI sniffs things out faster, looks at that with a scientific lens, no more, let's say, intuition or gut feel. It looks at data sets. It will tell you with no emotions attached what it thinks is the right strategy to do. And I think that makes it very important. The argument that they make is very simple. The tip that they offer at this point is Start small again, integrate into one sales process. Let's say start with lead scoring or look at customer segmentation. And then as you become comfortable with the technology, start expanding. Now look very carefully at learning 1 and 2. It actually talks about baby steps. And the rationale for that is that one, the convergence that's happened around technologies and around how AI is integrating the sales has been very, very fast. A lot of us were left drinking from a hose per se. And this is where you have to have a lot of caution. A lot of the stuff happening out there is also new. Everyone is learning. So still focus on the basics, building blocks slow and steady. Learning number 3, robot rules. That's the reality. AI is powerful, but must be used responsibility. And that's the owner Spider-Man. With great responsibility comes great power. Is it the other way around? With great power comes great responsibility. Jeb and Anthony outline critical rules like verifying AI outputs and using them ethically. And this is the reality, guys. As a published author, I have used AI for illustrations. I have used AI to check the grammar, the way that I write. And to my surprise, at times it has given me suggestions and recommendations which I would say were contradictory, did not make any sense. But that does happen. But overall, it's still extremely powerful in terms of how it has improved the way I write and the way I think. You need to understand one thing. You cannot outsource your obligation or responsibility because you will lose credibility due to inaccurate or unethical use of AI-generated content. You gotta understand. There is a limit to people's patience and there's a limit to your reputation being destroyed because AI can generate so much information so fast that you will never be able to verify it. Your goal has to be on quality integration, quality review, and then making sure that you're using it the right way. Now, don't use AI to simply rely on drafting a proposal and then not looking at the data that you use. You can and will have inaccuracies that will damage your trust. Please verify everything that you're doing with an AI-assisted task. Simple tip that they offer is that, hey, instead of trying to use this as an excuse for not trusting or not using AI, simply create a checklist for how to review AI outputs, checking for accuracy, relevance, and alignment with your brand voice. Make sure that those things happen. Learning number 4, beware of the authority bias. This is extremely important. And I've learned this the hard way. AI produces polished and confident outputs. Doesn't mean it's always correct. Authority bias occurs when we blindly trust AI-generated content without questioning its validity. Please don't make that mistake. I have seen AI generate citations, references that were amazing, but when I actually cross-checked, I actually realized it had made some fundamental errors of association. That's critical. Can't allow that to happen. So, the pain point is relying on AI for critical decisions without human oversight, leading to errors and reputational harm. Stop, figure it out. Use AI to analyze market trends, but make sure to cross-check the results is another example that Anthony and Jeb got into in the book itself. You gotta treat AI-generated outputs as starting points, not final answers. You get something, don't pick it up and just drop it straight across. Look at it. This is not a manufacturing product that you can inspect, you can statistically test. There is so much going on with AI, particularly when you're using AI and some of the large language models. You're looking at output which you cannot humanly absorb, validate. So you will be drowning with quantity and you're going to lose out on quality. And I think that's a very important point that the authors make in this book. Learning number 5, the 4 elements of sales intelligence, as they call it. Success in sales requires 4 elements, and you really highly recommend. I cannot do justice to this in the few minutes that we have. You got to really get this book. The 4 elements that they talk about is intelligence, or IQ as we know it, emotional intelligence, EQ, acquired knowledge, AQ, and TQ, which is technological quotient. AI enhances TQ, but the other elements remain uniquely human and irreplaceable. This is what I call an immense pivot in the book. Suddenly have a scenario where everyone is talking about AI as a threat, and here they are actually giving you a clear delineation of those boundaries. For me, you need to understand one thing. Over-reliance on AI cannot come at the expense of human connection and judgment. Those will always remain, particularly in the sales function, and this is extremely critical. They do talk about how salespeople use AI to identify high-value leads, but then you got to rely on the emotional quotient on building that rapport and how to close that deal. I really think that this is where salespeople who are exceptionally smart at the EQ and how they operate are the ones that, if they integrate AI into their day-to-day workings, are going to make an absolute killing, but more importantly, ensure longevity for themselves. So the tip is pretty simple here. Balance technology with human skills. Dedicate time to improving your EQ through active listening exercises and role-playing sales scenarios. This is one of the insights I really liked in the book, was the fact that as technology develops, you now have a scenario where you can actually use AI to role-play, throw out objections, handle those objections, and let AI help you through, walk you through with how you handle those objections. It is remarkably interesting to see the rapidity and the speed with which the AI learns and how the AI gives feedback to you. I was pretty surprised. Learning number 6. Time discipline is important. AI will give you back a lot of time because it automates a lot of low value tasks. But the discipline that you have to understand is that what will you do with this time that has been returned back to you? You really need to start focusing on what the authors call high impact activities. Wasting time on distractions or tasks that AI could handle is now a no-no. It's a crime. If you know a simple task that AI can handle, let AI handle it. Focus your attention on how to take the conversation way beyond just scheduling a meeting, but rather focus on what will you get out of the meeting? What are the strategic initiatives that you could get through from a meeting? So don't spend time scheduling calls or scheduling meetings when those could be automated, but rather take those few minutes to think about the agenda of that meeting and make that meeting extremely powerful for yourselves. So to me, that was one of the biggest tips that I got. Optimize your time, focus on high impact activities, and figure out what really matters. Learning number 7, attention control and time blocking. Distractions are the enemy of productivity. AI can help you control your attention by minimizing interruptions and enabling focused work. Time blocking is a very simple mechanism that ensures you dedicate uninterrupted periods to essential tasks. What are we trying to solve for here? And I think this is where Jeb and the guys took a very simple approach to this. You are going to lose focus due to constant notification multitasking. There's a tremendous opportunity to use AI tools to mute out non-essential alerts during prospecting sessions, how to double your call volume and how to increase conversions. Simple changes can dramatically improve your performance. So, very simple. I use AI to set reminders. I use AI to really focus on how do I get the time blocked, how do I protect my focus, and I use AI to give away a lot of the stuff that was low value, consumes a lot of mental cycles that don't add value. Learning number 8, pre-call planning and CRM integration was an element that they really talked about as to how AI is going to enhance the pre-call planning and customer data analysis component to it. You can and will get a lot of actionable insights when you have AI working with your CRM. This is the next frontier, and to be honest with you, some of the latest tools with CRM do a fantastic job around deal scores, around giving a great perspective of what the actual probabilities are in what you're seeing. And think about all that information that's lying in there about all your activities, all your conversations with the customer, bringing that to the fore so that you are not relying on human memory, but are actually walking into meetings prepared so that you don't miss out on opportunities. Using AI to sense those nuances can also help you fill a lot of gaps, both in your understanding as well as on those emotional cues that you might have misunderstood or missed out totally. So if you have a high stakes call, use AI to analyze a customer's performance, look at where they are with the industry trend, and then do a preparation that leads the customer to realize that you actually understand what they're up to and that you brought their pain points close to your solution and brought that entire conversation, brought to it a competitive edge. AI tools are great at generating meeting summaries and client profiles before every call and after every call. I use them quite regularly. I run a coaching practice and AI helps me a lot in terms of not just the first coaching session, but how to enrich the second, third, and fourth coaching sessions using AI feedback based on the recordings or the minutes of the meetings that I have. It makes each session build on the earlier session, but build an extreme powerful historical memory, which is not based on human ability to forget, but actually relying on data-centric approaches that actually look at specific patterns and keep enriching my learning and understanding. Learning number 9, the human advantage. AI can never replace specific human skills like empathy, creativity, and relationship building. And I think this is a very important part in this book. From the start till the end, the authors have done a powerful message. They keep pounding this into you. You will remain important as long as you integrate AI to enhance your skills. AI will not replace those skills. The biggest challenge you face and the pain that can be solved is that you do not want to lose the personal touch in sales due to over automation. This is the reality, guys. You cannot automate everything to what I call relational obliteration. You need to find that balance. Then one of the tips that they talk about is give AI the repetitive tasks and you focus on building authentic relationships. Authentic relationships is nothing more than making every interaction personal and meaningful. Learning number 10, and this is the last learning, guys. Honestly, I could have easily given you 20 learnings from this book, but hey, guess what? There's a limit to your patience and there's a limit to how much I can talk as well, right? AI and the future of sales is how I'd like to close this conversation on. AI is the future. This is the future where humans and machines work together. This chapter that is in the book actually emphasizes the need to stay adaptable and continuously learn as AI evolves. This was, I would say, the start of the book. It's actually the end of the book. What this also tells us is that if you have the fear of becoming obsolete in the AI-driven world, then It's not saying that that fear is misplaced. The fear is wrong for the simple reason that you don't understand how to use AI to your advantage. And the focus here is integrate it into the future of sales, into how you are working. Actionable tip that I got from the book, pretty straightforward. Commit to lifelong learning. We used to focus on lifelong learning around techniques, behaviors, attitudes, techniques to become better salespeople. I would say that AI constitutes the fourth rung there. You can consider it as a technique, but I would also call it something that informs your behavior and something that will actually be requiring you to sharpen your attitude or your mindset. You have to stay updated on AI and advancements. You need to invest in training. You really need to make sure that you find the balance between technical and human skills, because you will need that. In the end, I think this book is a great attempt. It's a powerful message out there. If there is anyone that is running around like a headless chicken, not sure as to what's going to happen to them thanks to AI, I think this book actually gives you some faith, some confidence that AI is going to help you unleash more power, better sales ability. But AI also gives you a tremendous opportunity if you adopt and adapt to it. So these gentlemen show us how AI can transform sales, but they also remind us that the human connection is irreplaceable. And I actually believe them when they say that. So if you're automating tasks, leveraging insights, or building relationships, this book, I really believe, gives you the tools to stay ahead in any ever-changing world. And if you think that this pace of change is done, we'll never have more change like this coming ahead, trust me, there's more change coming. And but that change is one where you can figure out a way to delight the senses, make yourself more articulate, more smarter with your customers, or succumb to it. Those of you who really think that they can stand still and allow things to continue the way they continue, I assure you, you will take away value from your position. Standing still actually means that you have regressed. And this book teaches us a valuable lesson. Regression cannot be allowed to occur. You really need to bring AI into your DNA. I enjoyed this conversation. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.